Hey guys, so welcome to the first video of my YouTube. I'm really excited. So the first video, this is going to be a 3-part prosthetic. So we have the top, that is I've just videoed, so I hope you like it. And if you have any suggestions or anything in the comments, please feel free to put it. I love hearing everyone's ideas and stuff. This will be another one, and then this one, which carries up here down. And then I'll be making horns with it as well, and a whole outfit, because I think everything together will make it even better. Maybe a wig, I'm seeing that. So if you want to know how to make this or how I did this, then just keep on watching the video. Please comment and share as much as you can. I will put my URL here so you can click on it and go see it. Excuse me. But yeah, I hope you enjoy like I did, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, so the first thing we did, well, what I did was to draw on the cast of how I wanted my prosthetics to look and appear, but also so I could see how much room we had on the face cast, making sure it all stayed at the right size. So I take each section, so I did this section first, as you're going to see, and I rolled them into sausages. Now, we used a technique called the sausage technique, and you basically would either make really small sausages or big sausages, and then you blend them together and it would give you the base. So that's initially what I'm doing. I'm making the clay go into the right shape that I'm wanting it, because I want it to look like it's appeared out of my skin, like it's ripped through, the flesh has been torn, you know, the beautiful stuff. So as you see, I'm just going around putting bits of clay where I've drawn with as a stencil, basically. So as you see, it's on, and I cleaned it up, took most of the clay off that I didn't need. I always put more clay on than less, because it's better to take it off than to put more on. I find it more difficult to. So in this stage, I started to shape the base of my prosthetic, as we're going to call it, and made sure the points were how I wanted them to. I used a triangle shaped tool, which I feel like gives you this flat feeling, and that's what I initially wanted to do. And it's great to go around the edges because it gives you at a 45-degree angle, which helps blend a prosthetic in. If you've done prosthetics before, you'll understand, but basically it is just to make it level. And I went back through it to make sure that if there was any lumps or bumps, or if the texture wasn't right, I wanted it to be smooth first, and then at the end I add texture. So as we have it there, we use that one tool, and now you're going to see me use a even smaller tool. This tool is my best friend. I absolutely love it. And I'm going to go around the edges exactly the same. And because it's in that pointed shape, it actually helped me create the pointed shape of the prosthetic. Think of like a dragon or lizard. That's the type of texture and movement I wanted the prosthetic to be. So having that in mind, it helped me a hell of a lot. So as I'm going around, it's helping me give that angle and blended. And as you see, we go in closer because I want to give you a more closer perspective of how this tool works. And I really do love this tool. This is my favorite tool ever. And I will continue using it till the end of my days. Bit dramatic, but hey ho. So on the edges, there was a bit more clay. And as you see in the middle, you can see the plaster through. That's kind of how I wanted it, but not too much. So here I already added some of the horns, the smaller horns inside of a wound. That's kind of what I was going for. And I'm using kind of like a toothpick style tool to help give me the lines that I want to create, the more precision of the tool I needed to get the effect that I wanted it to become. So as you see, I'm using that smaller tool that I absolutely love, and I'm never going to shop about it, because just look at the line work. saves you so much time and energy with using other tools where this just does it straight away. And depending on how much pressure you put onto the tool will depend how deep the wound or the texture will go. And then I still use the toothpick tool, which I like to call it, just to give a deeper kind of wound to the horns. Now, here is where I normally struggle. Now, I've only just completed my university degree in special effects, and this is the one part of prosthetics that used to irritate the hell out of me. So this is why I wanted to do it, so I could get better at it. More practice, the better you'll get. So for this, it needs to be flat. When you lay a prosthetic down, it needs to blend into it. No ridges or bumps, smooth but texturized. That's always where I used to have the problem. Now I'm going to tell you some things I'm okay at, some things I love to do, some things I hate to do. But I'm always going to try my best and see how it produces, because that's the only way I'm going to get better at what I do. And I love what I do. And I don't just do prosthetics, I do props and molds. You'll see it on the channel. I'm very excited for you all to see what I make, because I love it. I make custom stuff, so it's always going to be 100% original. So using this type of sponge, it's quite a hard type texture sponge, but it gives the most amazing effect of like a dragon skin or texture or pores, as I like to say. And it just works so well. In the next clip, you are going to see me use a paintbrush, and the product I use is a solvent. Basically, a solvent will help melt the clay down a bit. Now, the clay I'm using is Monster Clay in medium, and this is where you need a higher solvent. So normally I would use white spirit, which is brilliant with Monster Clay. I have found it helps melt it absolutely perfect, but I ran out, so that's my next thing I need to get. But IPA did the same thing, it's just not as strong as white spirit. And when you use Monster Clay in the medium or hard density, it needs more of a higher solvent to melt, to get that texture you are wanting. But I just reapplied the IPA again and again and again until I got to the textures I want, as you will see soon in the clip. So here I am basically making a wall first. I like to make the wall first, and then I like to go in and smooth it out, as you will see. I have speed up some clips, so you're not going to be sitting there bored thinking, oh, it's the same thing. But don't worry, I've sped it up for you. I just like to explain how I have came from education to now being freelance, which is a very scary thing, but we're going to get through it. So I added another horn just in the corner there, and it helped fill it out a lot better. Now, as you see, none of the edges are very smooth. There's still lumps and bumps, and I go back in with my triangle tool and this tool as well. These three are my main three tools, and I absolutely love them because one side's bigger and one side's smaller, so they're always going to fit. And at this point, I am basically whittling it down to a smooth kind of a transaction in a way. So it smooths on, it glides on, it stays there, and it looks good. So that's what I kind of wanted to try out and see if it works. Instead of putting only a little bit down, put a lot down and then take off, which I find has been helpful to me when do prosthetics and props. And as you see here, there's a little hole there in that wall, and that was bugging me so badly, so badly. But it was worth it just to take time and be patient. That is one thing I've learned. You have to learn patience, and it's a harder thing said than done. So as we move on, we're going to go around each of the corners and smooth them out, make sure that there is no ridges or bumps, and that's exactly what I am doing at this minute. As we get to this stage as well, it's good to know that whatever works for you works for you. Prosthetics are a tricky thing, and as long as you learn the techniques that you need and help you get to the result you are after for any type of looks, just go with it. But also try new tools. Like, you'll be surprised. I get a lot of my products from Mold Life. They're a good company. I get a lot of their products, like the silicone and stuff. So if you need any recommendations, or if you have any recommendations, please do put them in the comments, and I will more than happily try any other brand, because that's what we're going to do on this channel as well, trying out new things. As you saw, my stunning face on the plaster then. So you can see around the edges that they half smoothed out a bit, but now here it comes for the texturing, my favourite bit. So there is IPA obviously on the brush, and I've gone over. And the tools that I was using before actually come in rake tools as well, in the same shape. So first, as the clay softened with the IPA, I went in with the tool to see if I could smooth out the wall just that bit more, and fill in any gaps that I saw. Because as you kind of look at this angle, you can see there's a bit of a dip. So I wanted to make sure there was no dip again, because that was one of the problems with my first prosthetic that I ever made. So as you see, I'm placing some clay there and I'm smoothing it down, and with the IPA it's helped blends it in a bit more. So even though it's a pain in the ass to add in clay when you're doing a sculpture, just try it with IPA or any type of solvent and see if it works best for you, and I'd love to know what you think. White Spirit is really good. So here we are with the rake tool in the same shape as that little one as you saw in the beginning, and it makes a great texturing tool for wrinkles, and kind of any type of texture for aging or anything like that. I found the rake and the sponge help give me the texture for the dragon that I really, really wanted. I really wanted to show that texture through. So when I do mold them and paint them, that you are able to see that texture. And you will see that process as well. I'm going to show you every little bit of the process that I do. And I just hope you do enjoy this journey with me. So as I'm going back in again, so I went in with the tool, and then the sponge, and then the tool again, and then the sponge again. Just doing it over and over just to wait and get that texture. And you will see as we zoom in a second that you kind of get that reptilian type of texture. For me, I was so happy when I got to this stage. I was like, finally, we have got the texture that I am wanting. Now, as I'm going around, I've sped this up a little bit just so that it's the same bit. We go around the edges, we smooth it out, we take any clay off that we don't need if it's too much, and then we go back in with texture. And I get the texture all the way around while I'm taking off clay that doesn't need, or adding any to any walls that needed. It was just one of those. It's very repetitive. God, my brain didn't brain then. But it works. And like I said, patience is a virtue, which I do not have. But we're going to get there one day. And as you see the name Messy Special Effects, you can tell by my dressing table that I am especially a messy special effects artist. I don't work in clean and tidy. It just doesn't work for me. But great if it works for you guys, I wish. So I'm going around with that triangle tool to get that 40-degree angle, but also to take off at an angle as well, so it's smoother down towards the edge, and a little bit more built up as it comes to the area of the skin as the horns have ripped out of. I'm very excited to see when this molds. I cannot wait. You will be seeing the next two prosthetics in the next video, but I'm thinking of leaving the bigger prosthetic to the last because I'm so excited for that one to be made. And as you see, we're still doing the same thing, going around. It just shows no matter how big or small the prosthetic is, my teacher told me that quality over quantity. If you put all your hard work into a smaller prosthetic and it looks even more fantastic than you put in too much of your time into like 3 different types of prosthetics, it's worth just doing that small prosthetic because it's going to teach you something. And that is one thing I will be taking along my journey from my teachers. There's many things, always to plan out. And this is the first time I've actually planned out the look before just going in willy-nilly and chucking clay on it and then realising I'm not happy because it's not the shape I wanted. So if you can, either do it on your iPad if you can draw. I'm not a good drawer. So I literally just use my pencil, get some images, get some inspiration, and then just let my mind have fun. It's one thing that people forget is to have fun with prosthetics. That's the whole point. It's to enjoy it, to learn, and to grow. And that is my main 3 words I would say on this journey. And I can't wait to see back in another 5 years and see how far I've come. And as you see, we're still doing the same thing. And we're taking off as much clay as we can. But yes, guys, as we come to the end, I really hope you enjoyed my video. I do waffle on, that is just who I am. If you have any questions, any at all, you are more than welcome to place them in the comments. No question is a silly question. So put them in the comments. Anything you can think of that might look cool, I'd love to hear it. And as this rig, I had definitely recommend this tool. They do all the tools that you saw in rake form, and they do a bigger rake tool, which is amazing on wet clay, if you've ever used wet clay, which I will be showing you as well, because there's always 2 different ways to be able to do it. Thank you for watching this all the way through. I appreciate all your time that you've taken to watch my video, and let me know your thoughts. And always, guys, have fun when making prosthetics. And definitely stay messy and stay fun. I'll see you in the next video, everyone. Bye.